I seen all good people now. Testing 1, 2, 3. You know, it's a funny thing to be alive. I'd like you all to visualize with me that you could diminish in size. You could shrink yourself. And you could find yourself positioning next to a hair, standing tall upon your own skin, with your feet firmly planted on your skin, and one of your hands or both of your hands grasping hairs. The hairs we can assume are, let's say, an inch in diameter. That's our feeling, or a couple of inches. And they are firm coming out of the skin, right? They're supported. They have roots in the skin. And we can hold on to them because maybe we're moving around a little bit. So we're jostled. Gravity, we don't have to think about gravity. Wherever you are, wherever you find yourself, on your skin is enough. Maybe on the top of your head, maybe on your arm or your leg. Finding yourself at ease and calm, relaxed. Looking around and seeing the other hairs. If you want, you could ask some friends to be there with you. I'd be glad to be there with you. And just coming into a state of peace and rest and harmony and ease and tranquility and grace. For so easily you have arrived into the present. You and me, all of us, all part of the family of mankind, each a cousin. So let go of the hair that you are holding and get down on fours, your knees and your hands, and touch your nose to your skin. How does it smell? Take a lick with your tongue. How does it taste? Is it a little salty? Is it? I'll let you surmise. Being aware. And coming back to ourselves. And feeling our senses, our 5 senses, and the senses that we normally don't share. Extrasensory perceptions amongst them. Rising, illuminating, having a sense of self-realization that there is a lot going on. Taken for granted, seldom thought about, but nonetheless, marching relentlessly through time and space. It is what we are. This animal that travels back and forth across the face of this world that we call Earth. Our life celebrated in and given to us by our Son, Saul. In a galaxy comprising hundreds of millions of stars called the Milky Way. Kind of pretty. The Milky Way. Thinking, visualizing this Milky Way of stars. This is where we are. From there, far beyond our noses, And yet, we can visualize, we can imagine all of this bundles of miracles that we are, that we have evolved from. For just 3.5 billion years on this sphere, from dust and chemicals, to whom we now are. Celebrate, rejoice, be humble, be proud. Be worthy and responsible for all these considerations that we're sharing, and seek more. We are beacons of energy, each in one's own unique way, each. Rise and shine in every way that you find possible. Rise and shining. In awe. You know Ujjayi Pranayama. It's an Indian yogic breath. U-J-J-A-Y-I. U-J-J-A-Y-I. Ujjayi Pranayama. 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 It's a sounded breath on your exhale. You breathe in long and slow, purposely, remembering, of course, if we're articulating all these adjectives about it, pausing when we're satiated in no particular order, just to get a familiarity and feeling this within your own breathing. Long and slow and purposefully. We're still on the inhale, right? How many have you taken? Several at least, right? So I'm just trying to show you, you need not just conform to my verbalizations. It is you, not me. You are the beacon of your own universe. I'm just making suggestions and guiding. And not only you, but me too. So long and slow and purposefully, breathing in, contently, curiously. Rising to the top of this Ujjayi demonstration, we pause because we're satiated, and we say to ourselves, maybe not literally and maybe not verbalizing it, but we say, okay, I've had enough. My lungs are full. I'm content. What's next? And we begin to think about exhaling. Again, not literally necessarily that you're thinking about it, top of your mind, very important, although it is, obviously. We just have a lot of practice with it. In fact, not only do we have a lot of practice with it, we have millions of years of evolutionary practice with it. Not a decade, not a week, not an hour. Billions upon billions of breaths later. That kind of practice we have. So we've breathed in and we've paused and we're beginning to breathe out. And we want to make a sounded breath. A sounded breath meaning a breath that reverberates through your whole being. Oh, 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 oh. It could be like that if you want, but I don't necessarily mean that way. I mean that as you exhale, that you make a suitable noise. It may even be beneath the threshold of the sound that one thinks of in the sense of auditory stimuli. It could be just at the threshold of sound, inside of one's self. This is where the action is. This is where the fire is being sustained in the beacon of your energetic being, right? It is here. It is inside. And what we are doing in Ujjayi Pranayama is stimulating our soul, our being, our hearts, our quivering, energetic, vibratory physicality. That's the purpose of Ujjayi Pranayama, is to make one whole in the present, alive, aware, awake. So we breathe in long and slow, purposefully. We pause when we are satiated. If one lingers, it's nice to be appreciative of being alive, to be thankful, to be full of gratitude for this breath. And on one's descent, one's exhalation, we begin to fabricate in our lungs and in our windpipe and in our larynx, our vocal cords, in the back of our throats, in our mouths, with our tongues. We begin to fabricate sounds again. Doesn't need to be loud. And if you're wondering what sound to produce, any will do. That reverberate inside of you and bring you to the fullness of yourself. Traditionally, people use Om. Awe. A-W-E. A-H. Awe. Is one that I particularly like, connotating reverence and astonishment in your being, alive, lingering on this in your own way. Ujjayi Pranayama. And when you are pausing, now that we have exhaled our breath, being humble, realizing the depth of our own beings, from the tips of our nose to visualizing the Milky Way galaxy, millions, hundreds of millions of stars, different but similar to ours. thinking about what we're doing is making little steps of improvement as often as we can, being thankful, being humble, and repeating to oneself, we are bundles of miracles, each and every one. Namaste.